video replay to define hooking, there it is.
No question about that. They should put that in the referee and the linesman video guide for. You're exactly right. A hooking call, and Evans off, and Cincinnati in the power play again.
And a chance now to dent the net, get into this hockey game, get on the scoreboard. Mike Dagenet, number 6. 6 goals scored so far this year. Now Lawton, Brian Lawton. Lost it at the blue line, and as it's flipped into the penalty box, we'll have a face-off in the neutral zone. You can see Lawton talking with Dagenet, and here is what will be important. Lawton hasn't been on this team very long. Lawless hasn't been on the team very long. Although hockey is hockey, there still has to be communication as to who you want carrying the puck out of the zone and how you want to attack on the power play, be it dump and chase or carry across.
No question about it. That's exactly what they were talking about, Ken, and we'll find out what happens. First, you got to win the draw, and Milwaukee wins it, and Bruce Bell will retrieve it and clear for the Admirals.
6.5 minutes to go, first period of play. 1:20 left on a power play for Cincinnati. They trail in the hockey game 2-0. Now Chris Nelson. Here's Brian Lawton. He gets dumped after he passes the puck into the corner. Lawless has it. Looking for the play. Sends it to the point. Nelson tees it up. It's deflected. Slick. Good play again. It's right in front. There's a shot. Popped over the crossbar. And we'll have a ruling of the puck played with a high stick. And again, a near miss for the Cyclones.
Power play's been very effective, as we mentioned. 0 for 24 coming in. Now 0 for their last 25, but they've had some scoring chances. They've also had a goal disallowed, but Larry Dick made the original save, and the rebound came out, and eventually was deflected over the top of the goal. But look at the Milwaukee players there out in front of goaltender Larry Dick, and I'm surprised that rebound hung around there as long as it did.
Now Lawton to take the draw against McNeil. A couple of NHLers there. McNeil spent a little time with Chicago before being traded to Quebec and then signing here. .40 left on the power play. Here's a long pass to Lawton. Comes across the line. Setting up shop in the near corner, right through the goal mouth. It caroms to Nelson, a shot, a save, and Dick able to smother it. Well, I'll tell you what, Nelson can unload that puck from the point.
Really operates from that right point, Ken. Chris Nelson and Dagenet, as you mentioned, another guy that can shoot the puck. But here's Nelson cranking one up from the right point area. Larry Dick throws the right leg out and puts the big glove hand on the rebound that'll hold on. Controlling rebounds, so important for goaltenders. And this guy here, number 35, Larry Dick, a master at it.
26 seconds left on the power play for Cincinnati. There you see goaltender Larry Dick.
Larry, part owner of a speedway, a racetrack outside Kalamazoo, Michigan, and Hartford, Michigan. That's how he spends his summers.
One crazy occupation to another.
Absolutely.
Now the puck behind the net as the linesman gets a little advice from one of the fans as to when to drop the puck. Cincinnati clears, 17 seconds on the, or rather Milwaukee clears, 17 seconds on Cincinnati's power play. And here's Claude Vilgrain. Now Heppel. Up on the dasher, Vilgrain knocks it down. Played behind the net, and the centering pass taken away. Evans out of the box. Oh, they're going to rule that a two-line pass. So after the offside pass, we've got a timeout. Just under 5 minutes left in the first period. 2-0 Milwaukee. Milwaukee enjoying a little hockey at the Bradley Center with a Cincinnati Cyclones jersey on. Maybe they made the trip all the way up here in spite of the weather.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a long drive, but that just tells you a little bit again about the fan excitement and the fan support in the International Hockey League.
And in spite of Cincinnati's tough record in their first year in the league, the franchise was very successful previously in the East Coast League, and those loyal fans have been pouring out. We'll have an interesting feature during our first intermission put together by our production crew from Telex. What a great job they've done all season long on our coverage of the IHL on Prime Network. And that'll be an interesting piece as now Evans leads a 3-man rush for Milwaukee. Their leading scorer fires it in front, and we've got a penalty coming up on Cincinnati. Just as Milwaukee's Jurgis Baccia was ready to fire the puck, he got a little bit of the stick from Cincinnati Cyclone. We got a penalty coming up, words being exchanged. Cooler heads prevail. Jay Jacobs gets.
There is one scary individual right there that's been on camera for the last couple of moments. Craig Cox of the Cincinnati Cyclones, and one of the tougher players maybe ever to play the game. But into the corner, Jurgis Baccia, and of course Cox and Tressel came in. They spin Coxey around there, and believe me, he gets tied up with Baccia. There's Jurgis right there, and a 6'2", 215-pounder, Czechoslovakian native, and Craig Cox in the penalty box area. But claim to fame, I guess, handled Bob Probert of the Detroit Red Wings fairly easily not too long ago in his career.
And I'll tell you what, that's going some. Probert may be the toughest of the bunch. Now Vaca fires, and I'll tell you what, Gamble just got the stick on it and steered it wide of the post. Now another shot and another save, and maybe Gamble is now finding his game just a little bit. Now to the point. Milwaukee on the power play, and they lose the puck. Now Lawless feeds Lawton. Here are the guys playing the power play, penalty killing. And now Lawless has it swept off his stick. Dobbin leaves it behind the net for Baccia, and it's played by the Admirals. Here's Dobbin across the line. It's Snedden, a backhand shot and a save. And they clear the zone. Snedden flipped the backhander, but Gamble held his ground. 1:10 left on the power play. 3.5 minutes left in the first. Milwaukee with a man-power advantage and a 2-0 lead in the hockey game. There's a big kill here for Cincinnati. It goes to the point, and Baccia. He fires. Oh, good job by Gamble. And it's cleared. Now across the line, Galchenyuk. Galchenyuk sends it to the point. Bell. His shot deflected right out of the building. That's making its way right down 2nd Avenue here in Milwaukee. There's Dennis DeRozier, coach of the Cincinnati Cyclones. If he drops this game, it'll be a long bus ride back to Cincinnati. Well, we got the youngsters here getting a taste of a little hockey at the Bradley Center. Some older youngsters, eyes on the scoreboard if they're a Milwaukee fan, enjoying what they're seeing. Shots on goal right now favor the Admirals, 15-14. And there's a guy old enough to know better. Just under 3 minutes left first period. Down to 20 seconds left on the penalty. And it's tipped into the zone by Messier. He flips it behind the net. Now it's played by Larmer. To the point, and Bell. There's a shot fired from the near side. Boomered by Helkaitis. Bob Helkaitis. They weren't sure if he'd play today. Now the penalty is over, but Larmer moving in. A shot, a save, the rebound, a goal. It's Tressel. Tressel scores his 2nd of the game and his 18th of the year. It was not a power play goal. The penalty was just over. But at the 17:41 mark, it's now 3-0 Milwaukee. Larmer got the shot away. Good save, but all alone off the near post, Ladislav Tressel. Last year here at Milwaukee in 48 games, scored 15 goals. He's surpassed that already by 3 this year in his 4th year with the Admirals. Now they wave off the icing. Milwaukee. Cincinnati forechecking as Johansson sends it to Evans. He can't control the puck. Now it hit the linesman. Swatted back in by Cincinnati. Played ahead by Zemlak into the zone. With 1:40 left. First period. 3-0 Milwaukee. We talked about the Admirals getting off to a good start. Jamming up along the board. It's loose to the point. Gibson, he scored the first one, and that shot deflected right up to the very last row, the lower section here at the Bradley Center. There's Tressel. A well-deserved swig of refreshment. Came to the United States back in the 87-88 season. He was a 10th round pick by Quebec back in '87. Spent some time with Fredericton. And now playing his hockey in Milwaukee and getting the job done for the Admirals. And it's the likes of Tressel and Dobbin and Messier and others who will be called on to pick up the scoring slack with the departure of Mongeau and Tuttle. But even before Mongeau and Tuttle signed with his team back in October, Milwaukee had a talented bunch. Now Cincinnati. They'll have to start gambling a little bit. They'd love to get a late goal here in the first period and get on the scoreboard and see if they can muster a little momentum. But right now it's been all with Milwaukee. Now Messier. Bell. Larmer. Right in front, another one. It's now 4-0. Credit that goal to Mitch Messier, his 13th of the year. And Milwaukee making a rout of it here in the first period. 19:05, the time of the goal, and again it's the rebound, and it's right off the goal mouth. As it's now 4-0 in favor of the Admirals. Talking about Cincinnati trying to get a late goal. And sure enough, it's Milwaukee. Now 45 seconds left to go, first period. Here comes Brian Lawton. Dick out to play it off the far side, but Lawton tracks it down. We talked about it right at the top of the telecast. Milwaukee needing a good start. Cincinnati not wanting to fall behind and needing the big effort from the goaltender. Although, again, not all Gamble's fault. But when you've lost 10 in a row, at some point in time, somebody's got to step forward. And sometimes it's the goaltender that's just got to stand on his head. And unfortunately, it's been a rough go for Gamble. He and his Cincinnati teammates will be happy to hear the horn sound. The first period is over. All Milwaukee. They got goals from Gibson, 2 from Ladislav Tressel, 1 from Mitch Messier. And it's a 4-0 count after the first 20 minutes of hockey. When we come back, we'll have a chat with Jeff Medill. We'll have that interesting feature on the excitement of the fans around the IHL and more. Stay with us. We're in Milwaukee, where it's 4-0. Mike Miller and Ken Double back in Milwaukee, and it's all Milwaukee. The highlights are going to look like an instant replay or a broken record.
Now, the one thing we mentioned, Ken, Milwaukee getting off to a good start. They certainly did that. Here's Gibson picking up a rebound and just firing a wrist shot by a screen Gamble, who never had a chance, and the Admirals took a 1-0 lead. That was Don Gibson's second goal of the year. Now Ladislav Tressel moving in over the Cincinnati line, cut to the left wing circle and fired a wrist shot that beat Gamble. And the Admirals, just like that, had a 2-0 lead. That was Tressel's 17th goal of the year. And in this goal, Milwaukee makes it 3-0. Larmer walking high in the slot, let a wrist shot go, and Trussell just banged home the rebound. Nobody out in front to help Gamble. 3-0 for the Admirals. And the fourth Milwaukee goal here. The Admirals deep in the Cincinnati zone. Side of the goal, Messier fired it upstairs, and the Admirals took a 4-0 lead. Again, 2 by Trussell, 1 each by Gibson, and 1 by Messier to give the Admirals that 4-0 lead. But Gibson is second, 33 seconds into the game from Crawford McNeil. Trussell, number 17 at 11:40. Number 18 at 17:41. Messier closes out the scoring at 19:05.
And Halkitis all over the score sheet with all those assists. There you see the shots on goal numbers.
Shots on goal, Admirals 19, Cincinnati 14. Power play, Cincinnati 0 for 2, Milwaukee 0 for 1.
We'll have the second period when we come back. This is the IHL on Prime Network. Dennis DeRozier has changed goaltenders to start the second period. Sandy Gallupo steps between the pipes. Gallupo came up from the East Coast Hockey League back in late November, early December, and has showed some flashes of brilliance. He'll step in for Troy Gamble, who was definitely fighting the puck a little bit and giving up the 4 goals. Although, as you mentioned on some of those highlights, Mike, that poor guy got peppered, and a couple of occasions was there all alone. And if you haven't got some help to clear a rebound, you're there at the mercy of the offense.
And that was the case in a number of those goals. Milwaukee again with the 4-0 lead. Ken Gallupo comes in with a 4.01 goals against average and a record of 2-6-3. This is his 15th appearance of the year. And there's Troy Gamble. He has appeared in 17 games. His record 4-13 and a goals against average of 4.56. And Mr. Gamble, his 18th appearance here this evening, but he'll be sitting out the second and third.
Oh, a big booming shot as this second period opens. Now played by Lawton across the line, and it's offside, as I don't think there's any question we'll begin to see Cincinnati, Mike, trying to gamble a little more, cheat the defense in a little closer, and that might indicate that Mr. Gallupo had better be absolutely ready for everything. There's Brian Lawton. And you can tell this kind of eats at him a little bit, too, as he's been a little bit frustrated so far in the early going of this hockey game.
First American to be drafted first overall in the National Hockey League. Of course, the Minnesota North Stars took young Brian Lawton right out of high school and spent plenty of time with the North Stars. And as you mentioned, last year with the San Jose Sharks.
Boy, a giveaway in front. And Norton had the goaltender right there, but just calm as could be. Dick made that save, and at the other end of the rink, it's deflected into the crowd. Awful lot of souvenirs finding their way into the stands here in Milwaukee. That'll keep the crowd happy, along with the scoreboard.
"19 minutes and 25 seconds.
We're just underway in the second period. 19:25 left to go. Cincinnati has changed goaltender. Sandy Gallupo between the pipes right now as Milwaukee leads the Cyclones 4-0. A 4-goal blitz in the first period, and Milwaukee almost, Mike, has scored enough goals to win if they go into a shell, although it's still a little early.
Well, the one thing we talked about was a good start by the Milwaukee Admirals. They've certainly got that tonight.
Now a shot knocked down by the defense. Cincinnati trying to clear. They give it up to Yargos Batya. The defenseman rolls it into the corner. Number 17 on the far side. Galchenyuk right through, and another goal. And it's Evans sneaking through, and it's now 5-0. What a clinic offensively being put on by the Milwaukee Admirals.
Sean Evans, look how low and he gets involved in this play. Sean Evans, a defenseman, parked on the goal line to Gallupo's right, just fired it into the nearly empty net in behind Gallupo, and Sean Evans, again the leading scorer, defenseman, cutting in from the left point and just fired it in by between the goaltender Gallupo and the pipe to give Milwaukee a 5-0 lead. Sean Evans, that's his 10th goal of the year.
Galchenyuk and Batya get the assists on the goal at 1:10 into the second period. And Evans gets his 10th goal of the year. What's amazing, though, he got one in the game last night. Got 44 assists to go along with those goals. The guy has been an offensive powerhouse for these Admirals, and now with the departure, as we talked about at the top of the show, of Maggio and Tuttle. He's the leading scorer on the team now. Cincinnati the other way, a shot and a goal. And they finally break the ice. The goal scored by Medill, and Jeff Medill rifled one past Larry Dick. It's 5-1. Medill did a good job using Herrin as a decoy and then slipped it past Dick.
Right between the pads of Larry Dick, and that's Medill's 36th goal of the year. And we talked about him on the pregame show. He's a guy that is dangerous all the time for the Cincinnati Cyclones. Good quick release there, I think the real key, Ken, as he caught Larry Dick going down, put it right between the pads. Number 36 for Medill.
And they got a break as the puck was loose in the neutral zone, and two Admirals skated right into each other, and that opened up the 2-on-1 lane for Cincinnati. Now Crawford. It's deflected to the far corner. Dagenet plays it there for Cincinnati. Steering it ahead past everybody. Gibson at the red line, fires it in. Sandy Gallupo, now the goaltender. Battle for the puck along the near side. Finally taken away by Lawton. His pass too far for Lawless. And it's cleared into the Cincinnati bench with 17.5 minutes to go in the second period. 5-1 Milwaukee. Let's hope maybe that goal can get Cincinnati on fire a little bit. You know, we've had some comeback games of late. The All-Star game was a great comeback game. Last week we were in Indianapolis. San Diego got up 4-0. Indianapolis got 3 power play goals, eventually tied the game and went into overtime.
All-Star game was really something. The East coming back, of course, with those goals in a 2-minute and 14-second span. 4 goals to be exact to set an All-Star game record. Next goal key. Cincinnati gets the next one. They can battle their way back into it. But believe me, the Admirals here in their home ice, Ken, coming into this evening's game, very, very good here at the Bradley Center. They've won 20, lost 5, and have 3 overtime losses.
Now right in front for Lawless. Couldn't get a stick on it. Milwaukee, fed it just a little bit too far. That might have been a breakaway for Larmer as Cincinnati touches, and that's icing. And when we come back, we'll have more hockey from the Bradley Center in Milwaukee. It's 5-1, Milwaukee leading Cincinnati, and we're coming right back. Here's the play that led to the Cincinnati goal. McNeil and Van Dorp collide. That opened the lane, and then watch him use Herrin as a decoy and just snap it. Herrin popped the second one in just to make sure it counted.
It was kind of a deceptive-looking goal. It banged and came right out of the net rather quickly, and Herrin did the right thing and put it in to be sure. Medill with a quick release, beating the goaltender Larry Dick.
Now off the draw. Norton fans on a bouncing puck, and now here comes Tressel, who's looking for the hat trick. Defenseman fell down, but did a good job to keep the puck cleared from in front. Now it's played along the near board. Cincinnati trying to clear the zone. The stick got up a little bit on Tressel. He got popped in the nose with one. And we'll have the high sticking call now. Jeff Christian will go to the box for Cincinnati. And we'll have another look at this one, Mike.
Believe me, this hurts. Christian, the stick right up the facial area of Tressel, and accidental, obviously, and Christian even says something to Tressel right there, but luckily not around the eye area or anything like that, and Christian goes to the penalty box. Admirals, another power play opportunity. Tressel's all right. He's out there in the power play, so again, as you mentioned, Ken, he's got 2 tonight, going for number 3.
So these Milwaukee fans looking for their Admirals to pour it on a little bit, and now Cincinnati has got their work cut out for them for the next 2 minutes. Now jamming up along the boards in the corner. Cuts loose from Messier. He gets it to Tressel, now to the point, and Bruce Bell. Now to the far side. There's a shot deflected, but it went wide. Now Bell has it back. There's a one-timer knocked down in front. The rebound fired wide. Near miss for Larmer. Alkaitis at that far point, not bashful about shooting the puck. One of the reasons he's got 3 assists. Here's Bell. Right off the side. Popped wide as Gallupo is doing a good job holding his ground. Cincinnati needs to clear this puck. Milwaukee pouring it on. Now Lawless gets a hold of it. Feeds it to Lawton.
Heads up, heads up!
Right in front of the penalty box area. You can hear them skating right into the microphone down there. Now you hear them holler, 1 minute, boys. 1 minute left on the power play. 15:45 left in the second period. Gallupo got caught out of the net a little bit, but Cincinnati able to clear. Excellent work on the power play early on, Mike.
Really applying the pressure, the Milwaukee Admirals. Again, coming into this evening's game, operating at 20%.
Well, they give it up for Vilgrain, who fires a wild shot wide, and then Milwaukee has to retreat and play it again. Now with 30 seconds left on the power play. 5-1, the Admirals leading. They misplay it at center, dump it in, and Cincinnati able to find a zone and play it all the way down. Time for one last rush up the rink. Maybe. Now it's misplayed and finally tracked down by Galchenyuk. The penalty's over. It's dumped across the line by Dobbin. Now along the near boards. Again, Cincinnati unable to clear right through the goal mouth. Nobody home. Tracked down by Gibson. For Dobbin, centering all alone. Galchenyuk hit the goal post. Now Jurgis Botcha cheating in from his defense position keeps the puck alive. The shot deflected wide. It's still alive behind the net. Finally tracked down by the Cyclones. They play it up but not out. Finally to center and Christian. Onside Vilgrain. A quick shot fired it wide. Norton fires. Oh, I tell you, Dick wasn't sure where that puck was. Now it's played in the far corner. Sticks up. Players shoving a little bit. Vilgrain has the puck. Getting the rough ride from Galchenyuk. Dobbin sends it all the way down. We'll have an icing call here. We've got 13:45 to go here in the second period. 5-1 Milwaukee. And we'll have more hockey when we come back. Mike Miller, a couple of near misses both ends of the rink.
Goal post right here, right out in front of the goal, and the goaltender's best friend, the goal post there to Gallupo, and right back, Larry Dick gets one, the right of the mask, and a quick drive by Darcy Norton. So scoring chances at both ends of the ice. Admirals lead it 5-1.
As we resume play, face-off in the Milwaukee zone. Greg Cox taking the draw for Cincinnati. Shaughnessy couldn't